Yeah, estos no son los dominicanos de antes. Nope, not at all. Not at all. People sleeping on us Dominicans. Yo, people sleeping on us Dominicans. Y'all thought Carlos Adames was just gonna go and lay down? That's what y'all thought? My man smoked him in 3 rounds. Yo, shout out to Carlos Adames, man. Carlos Adames looked really, really impressive in that fight. Uh, I felt like he showed very good composure. And once he saw the openings, he just exploded on Montiel, man. Shout out to Carlos Adames. I really like the way he fought. I told you guys, when he come out southpaw, think of me. When he comes out southpaw, think of me. And I told you guys, and that's exactly what happened. He came out southpaw. He dominated the fight. First round was kind of like a feel out round. By the way, I'm gonna just break down the whole fight. The fight only went 3 rounds. So first round was kind of like a feel out round. I gave the round to Adames, but it was, nothing crazy. Nothing really happened. Second round, I thought Adames won clearly. And then the third round, once Adames started seeing the openings and he started seeing he could land, he really, really started opening up and really, really started hurting this guy. So I liked his performance. He is now the WBC interim champion, meaning if Charlo moves up, he will become the full champion. And if Charlo decides to stay in the division, he has a mandatory. And that mandatory is from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, and his name is Carlos El Caballo Bronco Adames. So shout out to Carlos Adames for that great performance, man. Carlos Adames looked fantastic. I'm excited to see what's next. Also, he's in a division where, let's just say, Charlo don't want that smoke, but Triple G looks at him as an easy opponent or something, wants to give him an opportunity where he could come up off Triple G's name. Like, there's Lara there, who is not a huge name, but is a name nonetheless. And then again, you got Charlo. That's the fight. Honestly, that's the fight I want next for Adames. He's in position to fight Charlo. He's in position with the WBC, and he's in position with the same promoter. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're in the same division. There's no excuse why that shouldn't be both their next fights. Now, Charlo, I don't know if he's gonna. Now, if he moves up to 168 and fights Plant, fights Benavidez, fights Andrade, I'm not gonna be mad at it. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna be mad at it. I'm gonna understand because those are bigger fights. But if he stays at 160 and goes to fight Selecki, I'm gonna be upset. I'm not gonna be happy about that, to be honest with you. I'm not. Because at the end of the day, the guy Carlos has done everything the right way to get to this mandatory position. He fought Deverenchenko, who a lot of people picked against. He was a big underdog. A lot of people don't remember that. And he pulled off an upset. Then in his next fight was against Montiel, a guy who gave Charlo trouble. What he do? He knocked him out in 3. So let me put it like this. Munguia knocked out Montiel in 2. Adames knocked out Montiel in 3. And Charlo went to decision and struggled at times with Montiel. So Munguia and Munguia and Adames, you combine the rounds they went with Montiel is 5. This guy went 12. Come on, man. Yeah, Andy, I try to tell people, Andy. I try to tell people that's exactly what was going to happen. I was telling people, honestly, Adames did it quicker than I thought. I predicted 7th round knockout. I was like, yo, I'll predict the 7th round knockout. And by the way, I made some bread off that. Come on, man. Y'all know I bet on my man fucking Adames, man. Adames, yo, listen, a lot of those gas tank issues are fair. And I would never, ever accuse, people being unfair of saying like, oh, he gasses out, he has gas tank problems, he gets tired in fights. I'm not going to accuse somebody of like, being unfair. That's fair. But one thing you can't say about Carlos Adames is that he don't know how to fight. Absolutely. I won't accept that from anybody. Yo, that guy's a bum. That guy don't got no skills. That guy don't know how to fight. That's not true. And that's not true. You either saying that because you a hater or you don't know shit about boxing. One of the two. So, we didn't even get to see if his gas tank was running low because he got the stoppage in the third round. So shout out to Carlos Adames for coming out, doing what he got to do, making a statement, putting himself in position to fight Charlo or becoming the full world champion if Charlo decides to move up. He did it the hard way. He fought tough contenders and got a knockout when people weren't picking him to get a knockout. People were picking him to win by decision. A couple people were telling me, "Oh man, Montiel's gonna beat him. He has a high gas tank. I think Adama's gonna win the early rounds, but then gas out and then get knocked out, and the Dominican curse is gonna come in." Well, guess what? When you knock a motherfuckers out in the third round, ain't no Dominican curse to kick in. He's doing this thing, man. Shout out to Carlos Adames. Shout out to Bob Santos. Yo, Bob Santos, his trainer, is out here really, really putting in work with these Dominicans, man. He has a really good stable of Dominican fighters, and they all performing well. They're all doing their thing. They all are coming out strong. Look how Hector Luis Garcia looked against Colbert and Gutierrez. Fantastic performance. You get what I'm saying? Look how Adames just looked right now. Fantastic performance, getting knockouts. You know what I'm saying? And Adames has never really been a big puncher. I mean, I'm not saying he got no power or he never had power. I'm just saying he never been a puncher like this. Like, man, he blasted this dude out. And a lot of people saying, "Yo, this was an early stoppage." Listen, man, if y'all ain't want it, if that they would have let that go, Montiel would have got hurt a little bit more, man. Montiel would have got hurt, and I'm not here to see nobody get hurt seriously or get knocked out or be bleeding to the point where they need 19,000 stitches. Like, I'm good, bro. I'm good. That fight was stopped appropriately. If you want to say you wanted to see a little bit more, I don't have a problem with it. But to complain about the stoppage, I think it would be a bit unfair. What punch did he stop him? I see the guy was going in with uppercuts, Charlo, and what punch he landed. I mean, it really was a barrage of punches, but that right hook seemed to be what stunned Montiel to the point where he got the stoppage. You got what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't know. Again, the guys who are watching this, who are loyal subscribers, you guys are well informed as far as with Dominican fighters, and you guys know all the inside info that not all, but a lot of the inside info I talk about on this channel is that Carlos Adames is actually naturally a lefty. So I had, got that inside info. I got the inside info he was going to be fighting southpaw, and he's naturally an orthodox fighter. What I did was I was like, okay, I put 2 and 2 together. I was like, hey, man, he's going to fight southpaw a lot. And that's exactly what he did. He did his thing. He moved his head. He and he went to the body real well, which is what I think set up that right hook to the head, because he was landing that left to the body very well. And he looked very comfortable in that southpaw stance. I like that he's now fighting southpaw. And to be honest, if you realize, almost all the Dominicans are southpaw, like at least the good ones, with the exception of Michelle Rivera. And there's a few that are exception, but most of the good Dominicans that we're high on are lefty. So you got Alberto Puello, Hector Luis Garcia, Elvis Rodriguez, Victor Santillán, now I guess Carlos Adames, I mean, he fought this whole fight southpaw. So that's 5 right there. Eric Mini Pac-Man Rosa, that's 6. I'm trying to think of who else. Look, I think Nunez is orthodox. I don't think he's a southpaw. But let me check anyways. Hold on. Because that would be crazy if for whatever reason all the Dominicans are southpaw. Well, at least the ones worth talking about. It doesn't say on his box rec. But I believe he's an orthodox fighter. I don't believe he's a southpaw. Hold on. Let me give you guys, in case anybody wants to call in, man, and y'all want to talk your shit. Y'all happy for Carlos and y'all want to express how happy y'all are, call in, man. I know it's early, but I had to do this early live for you guys, for my hardcore boxing fans who need to get their boxing fix, man, and want somewhere where to express their happiness and how and everything. Man, this is a safe space for that. Carlos Adames. We could talk about the. No, I'm the. Y'all know that. Uh, this page is mostly about Dominicans, but we could definitely talk about the Fundora fight or even the Fernando Martinez fight. Matter of fact, let's get into them. Let's get into the Fundora fight. So the Fundora fight, I thought it was a close fight, which is what I predicted. What I predicted was that it was going to be a close fight where more people thought Ocampo won, but they gave the decision to Fundora. Now, I don't think it quite played out that way. What I think how it played out was it was a close fight where Fundora probably won 8-4, 7-5. And 8-4, 7-5. And then, like Ocampo felt like he got robbed and all that. Although it didn't play it out like that. Damn, hold on. My bad. So the way it played out, I'm sorry. I had total brain fog. So the way it played out was Fundora won 7-5, 8-4, but Ocampo felt like he won. That's how it played out. I don't think he felt like he won. I think the scorecards were absolutely ridiculous. And it's unfortunate that the scorecards were like that because it shows that no matter what Ocampo was going to do, he wasn't going to get a decision. You get what I'm saying? He could have dropped Fundora both 2 times in the last two, and once in the 11th, once in the 12th, which most scorecards would have gave him the decision, and he still wouldn't have won the fight, which is ridiculous. I think it's unfortunate that that's the way the scoring went. I believe those judges should be investigated or fined or fired. To be honest with you, the scorecards were that egregious. One judge gave him 1 round, the other judge only gave him 2. It's like, come on, man. Like, what fight are we watching? That was a fucking disgrace, man. Breaking news: Charlos has vacated the WBC title. I mean, hey, listen, if he vacates, that's a duck, man. I mean, if he vacates and fights somebody who, like, we don't like or we're not a fan of or we don't know, then that's a duck. But if he vacates, moves up and fight Benavidez or fights Plant, I'm not going to say that's a duck. But, hey, man, I can see why Adames wasn't his first option when he took a fight against Selecki. I can see how that happened. I can see why. Now people trying to sleep on my man Adames. You sleep on Adames, he puts your favorite fighter to sleep, man. That's my new line, man. You sleep on Adames, he'll put your favorite fighter to sleep. No, don't. And he came out with war. He came out with a statement. I felt like he came out with a point to prove. And I'm not saying came out and started the fight. I'm talking about just in general how the fight played out. He fought to get the knockout. He didn't fight just to fucking win and outbox and no. He came out for a statement. Yo, Charlo couldn't get this guy out of there. I got him out of there. You know what I'm saying? Adrian, what's up, my brother? I see why Munguia was ducking now. Yeah, I don't blame him either. I don't blame him either now. I can see why. Because he could have fought. Yo, you know what's funny? This fight was for the WBC interim belt, so meaning the winner is a mandatory. He was ranked number 1, and Carlos Adames was ranked number 2, and he was in negotiations with Charlo. Whatever, the fight didn't happen. Okay, that's fine. But what we all know, if you got the people on here are educated boxing fans, what we all know is that if he would have petitioned to the WBC, he could have fought Adames to become Charlo's mandatory. Where that way to escape all the arguments of, it's the network, the promoters, the this, the that. But no. He didn't want that Adames smoke. he wanted to fight fucking Jimmy Kelly or whoever the hell he fought. He fought some plumber from the UK. Like, come on, man. Stop that. Stop. Stop, man. I got my man C Math on. C Math, what's going on, my brother?
How are you, brother? How are you on this good Sunday day?
I'm doing great. My man Carlos Adames looked fantastic. Got that win. And, I'm doing well. Put it like that. I'm doing very, very well. How about yourself, man?
Good, good, good. Just woke
What?
up, I just, I came and fuck with my mans right quick, talk about this boxing shit. Yo, this motherfucker had the audacity to say Montiel was elite. And
Who said that?
Adamas, no, Jamal Charlo during the first press conference with Charlo Castano, the draw said, "Oh, Montiel is elite." I said, "All right, my nigga, okay,"
All right, so
because
there you go. Adames beat an elite fighter. There you go. I don't want to hear no more excuses.
yeah. But like, yeah, Adamas has been a good fighter, man. Like, but I remember him from 154. He fought my bro, Patrick Day. It was a
Shout out to
close.
Patrick Day, RIP.
Yeah. And I know some intimate details about that fight, but I'm just going to keep it close to the chest. If you want me to tell you, like, hit me up on Instagram. I'll tell you through voice notes and everything. But hey, is what it is. He's overcame the Patrick Teixeira loss. I thought he was going to beat him, but hey, that's boxing. But hey, now he looked formidable because, bro, I remember him. He was an orthodox fighter. For him to just turn southpaw now and like switch like that and take dude out like that in three, and it's crazy. Let's look at it. Charlo went life and death with dude.
I know.
Got eye blacked up and everything. I'm telling you this now, bro. Julia said this. Yo, you don't want Charlo doesn't want to fight one of them guys, them nondescript guys, and get bumped off when he could have fought mad dudes. He could have fought Benavidez. He could have fought fucking Andrade. He could have fought a whole bunch of people, and now it's looking like, yo, you got a guy who's really at your belt, at your weight, looking at you like food.
Word.
So
And again, you can't even use the excuse, oh, he's with Eddie Hearn. Oh, he's with Top Rank. Or whatever the fuck kind of excuses these boxers come up with now. Yo, the dude's in your promotion, in your side of the street. He's your mandatory because he has the WBC interim, and he's calling you out. Like, if that fight is not the next fight, man. Again, it depends who Charlo fights. Because again, if he fights one of these big guys, whether it be Benavidez, a Plan, or an Andrade, I'm not gonna call it a duck. But if he moves on and fights Selecki, bro, that's a duck, man. That's a
and he
duck.
should be
I don't want to
stripped of
hear
his
nothing.
title. Think about it like this, but yo, they're on the PBC, so I don't know what Al Heyman has with these sanctioning belt bodies, bro. But you gotta remember, Errol Spence hasn't had a IBF mandatory defense since Ocampo, and you saw how Ocampo looked against Fundora. So ultimately, bro, it's all corny stuff at that PBC thing, bro. And you also hear how Floyd's saying, "Oh, when you think PBC, think about me and Al Heyman. It's not you, Floyd.
No, no. Come
It's
on, man.
it's your bread. You allowed Al Heyman to take your bread, and it's sad, bro. It's just like
I
it.
listen. I don't like getting too much in the business of the boxing, man.
I feel you. I feel you.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I rather talk about the fights. Now, I do talk the business about it. If like, let's say two fighters are negotiating a fight, and obviously you're gonna have to discuss the business. But as far as making the conversation about it, I really don't find that entertaining.
I
But
feel you because it annoys all of us. We real boxing fans. We've been watching this shit for years. Some of us decades. But let's just keep it a buck. We may not want to talk about the nitty gritty, the minutia of the boxing business, but we have to because think about it like this: on the
no, I
PBs,
get it. I get it, bro. I get it. But this is like a post-fight Carlos
it's a, yeah, yeah,
Adames.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know what
We
I'm
we
saying?
we
Like,
we
I
bigging
don't
them
know
up.
what
We
you're
bigging
giving
them
up
up.
for Mayweather. Like,
But the reason why because Mayweather's the money allegedly. So let's look at it from this
well, he
perspective.
said he's the one that's gonna announce Spence Crawford.
Yeah. So what does that mean? That man's amassed billions of dollars in the sport. So and he's not and you gotta remember Al Heyman not getting no dates from these networks, but that's neither here nor there. Now let's talk about Jamal Charlo versus Carlos Adames. That's a fight that should be made, and that's a fight that if you put it on a regular network with none of that BS pay per view, because it's not a pay per view fight. That's
No,
gonna that's gonna do a lot of numbers, because if Jamel can get on regular Showtime and everything, and people watch him, why not Jamal? Because
no,
people know Jamal.
and I need that fight in New York, man. Come on, man, bring that shit to New York, man. Because one, I want to go to the fight, and two, like Charlo's a popular enough name to fight in New York, and also
And he's fought
Carlos
in New York
Adames
plenty of
Dominican,
times.
man.
Yeah, bro. But
Bring
at
the
the end,
Dominicans to New York, man. Bring the Dominicans to New York. I told Steven Espinosa that when we spoke. I told him, I was like, yo, you put Michelle Rivera and Elvis Rodriguez on the same car in Minnesota. I was like, come on, man. Like stop, man. And then you have a card with Tank in fucking Brooklyn, and there's no Dominicans on it. They doing better now. Well, a little
you
bit
got
better, because they
you
got
got to
Carlos Adames. Michelle Rivera fighting next week on Wilder's undercard. But then they give him an opponent last minute who nobody knows who he is, and I'm like,
they did
I'm
that
a
to
bit
Ryo. They
frustrated
did that to
how.
Ryo.
What was that?
They did that to Ryo, and Ryo got his head cut off.
Yeah, but he fought a Dominican, man. That's it, man. These ain't no Dominican, bro. We knocking shit off, man. And not everybody's handling the Dominican takeover well. I was cooking some dude yesterday on Twitter.
I don't care about this, but bro, y'all been nice since the '80s, bro. It's just certain times, y'all just gonna get
you
over the
you
hump.
you just being nice to me. We have not been
No,
nice since the
no,
80s.
bro.
We just started getting nice.
You got to remember, Danilo Cabrera was fighting for world titles. That just because a Dominican fighter didn't win a world title doesn't mean that they weren't contenders, bro. Bro, you got to remember this. You guys had contenders since the '80s, bro. It just happens, bro. And like,
Nah, but now we got champions. We got legit guys who are fucking shit up. Legit
yeah,
guys who are upsetting. Because you got to remember, Carlos Adames, when he beat Deverenchenko, that was an upset.
yeah, it was.
Hector Luis Garcia, when he beat Chris Colbert, that was an upset. Edwin De Los Santos, when he beat Rayo, that was an upset. We upsetting motherfuckers. We fucking shit up out here. People are surprised with just how good we are. It used to be like, yo, you need to build up your record. Just fight a couple Dominicans. Not anymore, man. You're going to get your head fucking knocked off if you do that.
But I always look at it like this. I respect everybody who get in the ring, and I'm not here to build my rec up on people that are not good. Because if I ever to get to the world level, if I was a boxer, I'm gonna fight dudes that are nice, bro. Because that's the only way you're gonna see it. Because people go to Mexico, people go to all these places to build their record up, and some motherfucker can be 9-11, nine wins by knockouts, and 11 losses, no knockouts. That dude 9-11 can be 10-11, and you have your first loss. So then journeymen, you better respect them. I seen journeymen done pop niggas bad too.
Not. Listen, a lot of the times that has to do with your managers and your matchmaker and your promoter, as far as who you fight. So, but I'm talking about coming up. But once you get
That's
to a certain level, like Munguia is the biggest duck in boxing. The reason why I have a duck in my hand, I bought this out of my own hard-earned money, is because Munguia has done chronic
fool, bro.
ducking,
That's a fact.
and I had to buy it. And every time his name gets brought up, and people want to go, "Oh, it's his promoter. Oh, it's his management. Oh, it's the network." Nah, my man, I'm not accepting that as an excuse when Andrade and Triple G were both on the zone and you ain't fight them. When you could have petitioned to fight Carlos Adames and you ain't petitioned to fight him. When you could have fought Janibek because the WBO ordered for you to fight for a vacant title with him and you ain't fight him. You are the biggest duck in boxing. And a lot of
Him
times,
and Leo Santa Cruz, because Leo ducked Guillermo Rigondeaux, he ducked Gary Russell, he ducked a lot of motherfuckers. But yo, we also got to look at it from this perspective. Fuck all the other shit of him ducking. You already been a world champion at 154. Now they shouldn't be re-putting the training wheels back on you just because you young. You already won a world title, Munguia. You got to fight them motherfuckers. We need that rack, my
yo,
nigga. Straight up.
and he fought Turiano Johnson, who I'm not gonna listen. It's Turiano
He's
Johnson.
serviceable. He's serviceable.
He's serviceable. He's a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? You fought Turiano Johnson. All right. The next step is a fucking Shannon back, is a Carlos Adames, is a, you know what I'm saying? A Charlo, or Andre, a Triple G, or all these guys. But instead, you decide to fight these fucking cans for whatever reason. I'm like, yo, bro, Munguia, the way he's handled his career has been absolutely very, very disappointing. Very disappointing.
It's disgusting. Like, who's Jimmy Kelly? You know him?
Listen, I don't know, man.
No.
I think I saw him on the scaffolding working on the roof the other day, bro. Like, you can't be fighting these dudes that I never heard of. Like, yo, bro, the people that watch my channel, they're all hardcore boxing fans. And if we never heard of these guys, that means this dude is really a nobody. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fucking fact, man. I'm getting tired of it. But now, yeah, it's this. If the PBC wants to keep going on, bro, they're gonna have to start liquidating some of these fighters, and some of these fighters are gonna have to be in tough fights because TBC don't look too good, and motherfuckers need to recoup their money. So it's gonna be this: you're gonna have to put your money in the fights that people want to see, or you're gonna have to put these dudes in tough fights. Oh, I'm just saying. I'm saying
who's losing money? You said.
I think the PBC is losing money, and I think the PBC.
Stop that, man. Stop that narrative, man. They making the most money, bro. They got the best fighters.
You can say that if they had the best fighters, man, they should be fighting, bro. I'm saying this. If the PBC, when I first saw him 2014, 2015, I was excited. I was incredibly excited. They had all the fighters that I wanted to see. They took all that shit from fucking Golden Boy, and I thought it was going to be that. But now I'm seeing motherfuckers. Benavides and Charlo should have happened. Benavides and Plant should have happened. All this shit, bro. Like, nah. I want Carlos Adames.
Listen, there's certain fights that I definitely agree should have happened on that side, but that I feel like 160 and 168 is a wasteland. But if you look at, Stephen Fulton fought Brandon Figueroa, Charlo fought Castano for undisputed. Errol Spence, he unified 3 belts.
Let's not talk about that dude, bro.
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? He beat Porter, he beat Kell Brook. And he beat who he beat for the 3rd belt? Forget his name.
Oh, he beat Porter. He beat Brook. Yeah. I forgot actually. But like he's pissing me off.
Ugas.
Yes, but he's pissing me off, man. He's pissing me off.
Why is he pissing you off,
man? All the stops and starts and everything. And trust and believe me this. If a fight wants to get done, the fight is going to get done, bro.
But wait, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes of negotiations, bro. You don't know whose fault it is.
Man, I'm telling you, Terence Crawford met all his demands. Literally,
listen, man, Terence Crawford has sold significantly less pay-per-views, has significantly less belts, has a significantly worse resume. Like, he can't come to the negotiations talking about I want 50-50. And that's just the way I look at it. I'm not saying he's not a great fighter. I'm not saying he's not a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter. What I am saying is he has to understand your worth. You're going to live life much better when you understand what position you are in life or what's your worth. Now, if you go into these negotiations like you fucking Canelo and they show you your numbers and they go, why you want this kind of money? Why do you want this kind of split?
Let's look at it from this.
I don't know what's going on in negotiations, but
let's look at it from this perspective. Then
he's bugging.
Let's look at it from this perspective. Then, if he sold all this stuff, why is his guarantees more than Spence? Why was he making more money on Top Rank than Spence was making on?
But then his promoter says, "Yo, I could have bought a house in fucking Beverly Hills. How much money I've lost on him?"
Yeah, Bob Arum's a piece of shit. I understand that.
No. It's not about being a piece of shit. It's about him being honest. So meaning, just because that company wants to lose money on you doesn't mean that this company wants to lose money on you. That's why when you said, oh, PBC might be going out of business or whatever, you said that they're losing money. Okay, how are they losing money when the other guy's the one who's saying that he's the one that could have bought a house because of how much bad business he's done?
Okay, it sounds good, but trust me, look at all the fights they really could have made to like let's I'll concede this. I can understand that why you say the PBC is making more money because they have more fighters and they do put on these shows. But I can say this in terms of big money fights. Let me phrase it that way: they could be making a lot more. They could be making a lot more. And also, is this how is Earl Spence who sold more pay per views and fought the quote unquote better competition? I believe that competition is very similar. I'm
No,
gonna
it's
say,
not. No, it's not. I get it.
okay, bro, okay. I say this: how's Earl Spence making more, making less while selling more? It doesn't
Well,
make
well,
any
well,
sense.
well one. Uh, uh, See, this is boxer insider shit. So a lot of times you don't know. That's on paper he making more money. That's just first of all. And I'm gonna leave it at that. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. So there's that, and then there's also the factor as all right. If he's selling more pay per views, then obviously he has a higher back end. Now, if you have a higher guarantee in terms of upfront money, cool. But if you making $5 million up front, but nothing on the pay per view, and I'm making $3 million up front and making three on the back end, who really made more money? You get what I'm saying?
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. And
Like,
not
like,
to
and it's significant. He's selling 200,000 more pay per views than what's his name, than Crawford. It's not like he's just selling 10 more thousand, 20 more thousand. It's like 200,000 more. Like how many?
but
Like what did that Porter fight sell? What 95,000 or something like that?
that it was on the app, and I don't know why he put it on the app. That's the same thing Rob Arum did to Guillermo Rigondeaux.
Or
Real
all
corny.
right, how much did his fight with Posto sell?
I don't even remember that. I really
All right,
that
but
I
that's my
don't
point.
remember.
That's my you see, but the Errol Spence pay per views you remember. You
I
remember
don't
those pay per
I,
views.
I I don't remember those sales for the pay per views because I ain't gonna hold you, bro. After I saw how Earl Spence was making Terence Crawford go through hoops after the Jeff Horn fight, and I saw how Earl Spence was giving it up, I stopped really messing with dude. I ain't gonna hold you because I didn't like that because you say yo get a belt, boom. And mind you, let's talk about the resume, right? Hey,
Mhm.
cool. I know Earl Spence beat Kell Brook, but Kell Brook came back off of a fractured eye socket. But hey, he signed the contract, so that's a good win. Yo, you went life in death with Sean Porter, a guy you said you were going to easily knock out. Oh, who's the first guy to knock him out and retire him? Terence Crawford. But no one wants to talk about that. No one wants to talk about that. No one wants to talk about the fights that Earl Spence had to go deep rounds in. Terence Crawford didn't have to go deep rounds in at all. We talk about Kell Brook this, Kell Brook that. Kell Brook had a broken eye socket. Kell Brook had a broken eye socket because of Earl Spence, right? That sounds great. It still doesn't change the fact that Terence Crawford stopped him in four. It still
No,
doesn't change.
come on, you really bragging about that Kell Brook, that version of Kell Brook, bro?
Well,
Come
we
on,
can
man, stop,
think about it.
stop
Think
that,
about.
stop, no,
Let me
no,
talk. Let me
stop.
talk. Let
Hold
me
on,
talk.
hold on,
Let me.
whoa. Stop that, bro. Yo, the guy was washed. The guy was weight drained. The guy, come
He
on,
wasn't weight
man,
trained
stop
after
that.
Errol
You're not gonna
Spence.
give him credit for
He
that
wasn't.
version.
He wasn't weight trained after Errol Spence with a broken eye socket. We went all the way back down to
He broke
47,
the other eye socket. Hold on, Errol Spence broke the other eye socket
coming 12 pounds down, bro. Coming down 12 pounds,
to
bro.
his
Let's keep
natural
it.
weight class.
Bro, he looked a lot bigger and a lot healthier at 160 than he did fighting Spence. He always said I needed to go up from 147, even prior for him winning the world title against Sean Porter. But that's neither here nor there. And people talk all this shit about Kavalauskas. Kavalauskas has been giving people problems, bro. He's giving everybody problems, win, lose, or draw. And say whatever you want about Yuriorkis Gamboa, right? Gamboa was I think wasn't Gamboa undefeated when he fought
I
Terence
don't think he
Crawford,
was undefeated. I don't think he was undefeated. And Gamboa, is naturally 126 pounds, bro.
and
I
he
don't know
still
what they
moved.
would talk about him and Juan Lopez fighting.
Yeah, but he still moved up and still gave people work. We can't say that,
Yeah,
bro.
he never won a belt at 135. So it's not like, oh yeah, he beat a fucking champion at
But he
135.
did give him hell on earth. The thing is with him, yeah, he was undefeated, 23-0. He was undefeated when he fought Terence Crawford. And people want to talk shit about Thomas Delorme. Thomas Delorme was 22-1, giving him all the problems in the world. Thierry Jean, 29-1.
Again, Dulorme
These are good
also
fights.
never won a champ. He never won a title, period, let alone in the division.
I feel you. I feel you.
Yo,
And
this is the
also,
four belt era, bro. You can't win a fucking belt. You can't put yourself in position to get a fucking
but we know
WBA regular.
we understand politics, and we talk about Postal, right? Danny Garcia was supposed to fight for Postal. He gave him step aside money and moved out the weight class. You know what Terence Crawford did to him? Damn near shut him out on all the cards and took his O. We can't just say that this guy's been fighting bums. And your favorite, we love Felix Diaz over here, bro, but let's keep it a buck. Terence Crawford ended that man's career.
Yo, Felix Diaz never won a title.
Felix
Never won
Diaz,
a title.
and he
Yo,
got
bro,
robbed
you
against
talking
Lamont
about dudes?
Peterson.
You bragging about wins about motherfuckers who never been a champion. Like what?
But
Who does that?
but wasn't Felix Diaz not a guy who got robbed by let me
Lamont
tell you this
Peterson.
about Lamont Peterson, and he was a gold medalist too. Let's not say he wasn't a good fighter.
Yo, bro. Listen, I'm Dominican. I know all the inside info. Yo, Felix Diaz a talented fighter, but the word on him was that he was lazy. That in the gym. He wasn't a workhorse. That's the word on him, bro.
And
And
unfortunately, that cost him against Terence Crawford
and
because
that's my point. So if I know that going into the fight and he loses, how the fuck can I be surprised? Like I don't know, man.
but not everyone is an insider like you, bro. You got the connections.
Yeah,
Like let
yeah. But now you educated on that, bro.
and
Listen,
now
that Felix
Andalgo and
Diaz win, and Dogo. Let's see what has he done since. What has he done since?
he was
Let's look
undefeated
at
when
all
he
the
fought.
guys he
Let's
beat.
not
What
do
have he done
that.
since?
Let's not
What have
do
Jeff
that.
Horn done since? You get what I'm
He was
saying?
undefeated. I understand, but Ndongo undefeated. Jeff Horn undefeated. I don't really think he beat Manny Pacquiao, but hey, in real life he was undefeated. Jose Benavides Jr. He was undefeated. Uh, we can't just say he just been fighting bums. Like yo, Kavalauskas was undefeated when he fought dude.
Yo, bro. You really brought up Benavidez, son. Damn, bro. You
But
stretching. You
bro,
reaching, bro. You reaching.
okay. So is Algeria a good win for Earl Spence?
That was before he became a champion. That was an up and coming fight.
So was now I gotta ask you, old Lamont Peterson's a good fight for him? That's a good win. We
How
can't
about
say that.
how's that Ocampo win aging?
Okay, Ocampo, do you not
Okay, he
see?
stopped him in one, and he just went life and death with Fundora.
Okay, that's
Bro,
great.
and Ocampo
No,
was undefeated. If we're
okay,
using that, come
okay.
on, man.
Now let's look at it from this perspective. After Ocampo fight for Earl Spence and he went on that win streak, who did he fight outside of Fundora that was of note?
No, let's
Nobody.
just go with the Fundora fight. We don't even got to do a deep dive into this whole resume thing. Yo, how did he look against Fundora? He looked good. He lost, maybe 7-5, maybe 8-4, but he definitely belonged in that ring. And Fundora is a top 10, 154 pounder. And guess
Fundora's
what?
just a
Errol
big.
Spence sleeped him in one.
He's a bigger I say this. Fundora's just a bigger version of a fucking like Jared Hurd and Antonio Margarita. I don't really
All
rate
right,
him like that.
well, you just mentioned two former world champions, but
I feel you, but
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
come
feel
on,
you.
man. If
Let's look at it from this perspective too. Mikey Garcia, that's not a good win for me. I
No,
don't care what you
I
say.
agree. I agree. That was a
That's
blown up lightweight. That was a
and
blown up.
think about it like this. Danny Garcia was never good at 147, bro. Like literally, you had to win your first world title at 147 against a blown up featherweight and Robert Guerrero. Come on, B. Like let's look at his best wins. His best wins, Kell Brook. If we're going to say that, Kell Brook, but he was damaged goods. We're going to give it to you. Kell Brook, Sean Porter, and Danny Garcia. Sean Porter, he went life and death with. Danny Garcia, I'll give him that. He came off of a car accident. You Dennis
No
Ugas?
tune up. No
No
tune
tune,
up and beat the
no
shit
tune.
out of fucking Danny Garcia.
Yeah, but Danny hurt him in that. Danny hurt him in that fight and did let him off the hook. And also, or Dennis Ugas hurt him in that fight and let him get off the hook. But hey, if you want to say his resume is better, all right, cool. It is what it is.
There's no argument. There's no argument that it isn't. It is better. It is. Listen, you could, if you want to make the argument that you think Crawford got a higher IQ, I ain't even gonna debate because, like, yeah, listen. I'm not a Crawford hater. I know he got talent. I have eyes. Yeah. Oh, you want to argue that? You want to argue he hits harder? Cool. You wanna say you like his style better? Cool. You want to say he thinks he wins the fight? Cool. The moment you bring up the resume and we pull out the receipts, yo, bro, like it's night and day, man. It's night and day. Just he beat a better version of Porter. Hold on, he beat a better version of Porter. He beat
Barely
off his biggest win. He beat Danny Garcia coming off a car crash with no tune-up. He beat Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying?
After his face got rearranged,
and he rearranged the other side. That's what people leaving out. I believe he had his right side broken by Triple G. He broke the left side. That's what he was doing out there, man.
That version of Earl Spence did look good. I ain't gonna hold you, but I'm just keeping it a buck, bro, because it's not.
No, you're not.
No, bro. I'll let you talk. Let me just say this, bro. Earl Spence and Terence Crawford's resumes are not too far off, bro. Like they fought some decorated dudes. Some people just may not know the names. That doesn't mean anything. Like, bro, hey, you can say whatever you want about Ricky Burns. Ricky Burns, after that, after his fight with Terence Crawford, ended up winning a title at 140. Like, people just don't want to give Crawford credit in certain respects, which is not fair, bro. He's come up 3 weight classes, beat 3 weight classes of dudes. Like, people may talk shit about the Ray Beltran fight, right? Ray Beltran's still been giving people hell on earth, bro. Like, we can't say that Terence Crawford is like, his resume is like trash, bro. Like, I can't just have that, bro. You feel me?
No, I ain't say it was trash. Let's be clear. I just said that Spence's is better. That's all I said. You got what I'm saying?
If you're gonna say that, I'm not gonna say by much though.
I'll accept that. I'll accept that. That I'll accept because I actually do agree with that. Not that I'll accept it. I agree with that. Now, is it head and above shoulders? Now, is it like comparing Canelo's resume to Crawford? Is it that big of a?
Yeah, we're not gonna do that shit. We're not doing that.
No. I'm saying that it's not that. I'm saying that it's not that. But what I'm saying is, to me, if you look at it objectively, if you take your fandom out of this equation, and to be honest, in terms of fandom, I'm more of a Crawford fan. Now, I think what's his name? I think Spence wins the fight, but I like more Crawford because I like.
You think Spence beats Crawford?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'll give you your reasons. You give me mine. You give me yours. I think this post car accident and like a couple, and even prior to the Sean Porter fight, I think his punch resistance would have held him well, but I don't think I think his punch resistance has been, shaky ever since, the Porter fight, and it's been deteriorating after that, because let's keep it a buck. Once Denny caught Spence with one of them hooks, if you would have followed up, hey, it could have been a different fight. But hey, good on Earl Spence to weather that storm. And also, I say this:
he was not fucking hurt, like where he was holding on and the referee.
The Ugas fight, bro. I don't know what happened. If Ugas hit that dude with a right hand and he stumbled back in the ropes, super crazy.
Well, I'm telling you, he dropped his mouthpiece. He dropped his mouthpiece and then looked and was like,
at the end of the day, bro, you in a fight. You don't drop your mouthpiece.
You making it seem like you don't understand context of why he got hurt. I can understand. That was like, what's the chances of that happening in a Crawford fight? Also, even if it does happen in the Crawford fight, don't you think he learned his lesson? All right, if a mouthpiece, last time I got my shit cracked, I looked at the referee. Let me not do that again. Like,
I can concede that, but I'm just saying this. People think, Terence Crawford is just going to get walked down. You got to remember, Jeff Horn Let's look at it. Jeff Horn is not as skillful, not as that. I'm just talking about, in terms of size and mass, right? Jeff Horn now moved up to 160, bro. And mind you, Terrence Crawford was pushing him back. I'm telling you this. If you think he's going to just keep pushing him back, that's not going to be the case, in my opinion. I think Terrence Crawford punches harder than him, shot for shot. I think Earl Spence's power is accumulative. I think Terrence Crawford can hurt you in one round and get you out within that round. And I honestly think, he has better defense. And I think his IQ, I think he does better things in the ring. And above all else, a counterpuncher. If
Okay,
you can
all right.
counter, yeah.
Let me break down as to tell you why Spence beats Crawford. So, first of all, Crawford always lose the first 3-4 rounds, and then he starts figuring people out. Right? Is that not fair? A fair assessment?
That is a fair assessment, but also he can be sharp if need be. He does that
All right,
again. He
all right.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I needed. All I needed to hear was that it was a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Okay. So not only does he get hurt, hold on. I'm gonna add on my man Ezra. Ezra, what's going on? Let me finish this breakdown, and
Yeah,
then
go
I,
ahead.
I, I can have you hop on. So the Crawford gets hit, and then he starts figuring guys out, and usually he gets a stoppage. All right, this is the first time he's going to be fighting somebody who's either equal or greater to him at his level. And not only that, Spence is also a puncher. If we could look at his resume, he's 28-0. No, 28-0 with 22 knockouts. So the guy can crack. And what I think is going to happen, he's going to win the first 4 to 5 rounds. Then the then Crawford is going to start turning up. He's not going to be able to stop Spence because Spence has enough defense and enough power punch to keep him off of him. Then what's going to happen is he's going to win the next. At the last 7 rounds, he's going to win another 3 or 4. And that's how he's going to win the fight. He's going to win
You
the
think
fight.
you're going to win 8-4?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
I think this. We do know that's one thing about Terence Crawford
He
I
gets hit.
abhor. He does get hit, but he does take time to figure people out.
But
I think that
hold on, Matt. Let me let my man Ezra get in.
Ezra, talk your thing, coach.
Ezra was Ezra from the Ezra podcast. Everybody go check out his channel and go subscribe. He definitely got good content over there. Ezra, what's going on, my guy? What do you think of the conversation going on? Oh, you on mute. You're on mute, bro.
Oh, can you hear me? Am I good? My mic
I
good?
can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think that like I always explain with Terrence Crawford, he's like a good league baseball hitter. He's a good baseball hitter in the MLB. He sees enough pitches, he's going to catch you. I think this fight comes down to durability. Is he going to be able to be durable enough to last the early rounds where he kind of starts off slow and waits to find his shot? Is he going to be durable enough to where Earl Spence doesn't affect him with the onslaught that he's going to bring? And is Earl Spence going to be able to take the shot that when Crawford finally finds his range? I think that is he going to be able to take those shots? And I think that you're going to see Spence box in the second half of the fight. I think you're going to see Crawford the aggressive second half fight. I think it's going to flip on its head. It's just going to be. I think Spence might have the lead. It's just going to be can he last to make it to the final bell type of thing.
Yeah, I never seen Spence hurt like to the point where I'm like, damn, I think he's gonna get stopped.
Well, you guys.
Okay.
You guys. What about you guys?
No, but again, we got to put context. He got hurt because he made a mental mistake. He dropped his mouth.
That's his fault, bro. That's his fault.
Okay, but you got to understand that's not likely to happen in his next fight. Come on, man. Like, oh, what if his mouthpiece hops out again and he looks at the referee and he gets caught by Crawford? What? All right, well, that's like a random thing to happen. Like, I'm pretty sure if you want to bet that in Vegas, the betting was probably fucking 10,001.
I think it's just the example though. It's like the shots you don't see that hurt you, and he might not see Crawford's shot. That's the thing where I'm saying, like, so yes, it's not gonna likely the mouthpiece gonna fall out, but there's a chance that he doesn't see the shot that Crawford counters with, and does get rocked. So we do see that he is able to be rocked. It's not like he has a Joe Joyce chin or something like that. You know what I
mean? I mean, the thing is, to me, Errol Spence is a hard enough hitter where Crawford is easy enough to get hit, where I don't think that's going to work out in his favor, man. I believe Errol Spence, although he's not slick and smooth with his defense, he doesn't do anything in particular that you're like, whoa, great defensive work. But that high guard gets him away from a lot of shots. And you could bring up the Porter fight. But that's just one fight, and who knows? Maybe that was just a style matchup that was uncomfortable for him. We all know Porter's physically strong and can push a guy around. To me, he doesn't really get touched up in fights enough where I'm worried about him getting clipped by Crawford. I just think both fighters are good enough to not get knocked out by each other, but Crawford has a tendency of giving up the first, 4 or 5 rounds, and that's going to cost him.
Can I say this, guys? Before you say anything, my bad. I'm gonna say this. I also have seen Crawford sharp, but in the first couple rounds, but it's against limited competition comparative to Earl Spence, which was Amir Khan. He did drop Khan in the first round, so we can say that. But that's few and far between. So I can understand the main consensus is this. We usually do see Terence Crawford start, slow. But I think Terence Crawford can keep it up. I think Terence Crawford can fight, Earl Spence round 1 to round 12 fast, because I think he understands that this is a legacy fight. And hey, if he wins this, he will be the first guy in the 4-belt era to be 2-weight undisputed, bro. So I don't think he's going to be out his side just being so laissez-faire and so sloppy. You feel me?
No, I don't think he's sloppy. I just think he has leaky defense. I think that's what it is. I just don't think his defense is good. I like.
So I would say, though, I wouldn't know if it's his leaky defense. I think he really believes in his offense, so he takes chances. I mean, I think that's more what it is. Now, will he get hit? Yes, but I don't know 100% know what he looks like against a guy like Spence, at that level. Might be a little bit more at home, might be a little bit more cautious. You know what I mean? We never seen it at that level. But versus a guy like Mean Machine, yeah, he'll take some chances because he knows his offense is greater than anything this guy has to offer. He trusts his timing against a guy like that. So I don't know exactly if his defense is going to look that leaky against Spence, because I've never seen him fight a guy that he has to respect like Spence.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, Spence. Listen, they both can crack. They both are high level pound for pound fighters, correct? Okay, but let's talk about who has better defense, and I think that's where the separation happens. I think Errol Spence's defense, not that he's some slick wizard, but I just think Crawford's defense is so poor where that's where he's going to have the disadvantage, and that's where he's going to lose.
I mean, Spence was hit by Ugas. He was hit by Danny Garcia. He's not, like you said, Porter. He's been hit by a lot of guys. I mean, he makes a lot of mistakes. Like, he leans too much to one side. His feet get a little bit sloppy, over things. So I don't know. I wouldn't say like his defense is far superior to this guy. I just think that the way Crawford fights, it's it leads to him getting punched, but that's because he's going to take some chances.
But that's my point. You're making my point. The way Crawford's fight leads to him
but against that competition. But I'm saying Spence gets hit too, though. Spence definitely gets hit. Like that, there's just no way around it.
Crawford's defense is not poor, bro.
Still significantly better than Crawford. I wish I had the CompuBot statistics. Because
Terence Crawford's defense is not poor, bro. I can't say that. Poor?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's like he can be offensively minded, but I'm not saying that, I'm not saying, when he's alert and sharp, he don't be getting hit that much, bro.
I don't know. I saw a fucking Kavalauskas drop him. So,
Kavalauskas dropped Michael Fox yesterday. Kavalauskas dropped Virgil Ortiz.
Michael Fox, Errol Spence.
Okay, bro. The guy, one of the mandatories for one of the belts named Virgil Ortiz got dropped by dude too. That guy can fight. He's a 2-time Olympian, bro. Let's not do that.
Wait, he ain't dropped Virgil Ortiz.
They didn't call a knockdown, but he did drop him.
He rocked him. I don't remember if he dropped him, but he rocked him.
Drop him, bro. I don't know what you're
talking about. But at the end of the day, Kavalauskas' timing is good. Like, bro, my nigga, like, you gotta remember David Avanesian, right? Perfect fight. Avanesian, high level, contender and fringe world title holder. Lamont Peterson fought Avanesian, couldn't do anything to him. Kavalauskas fought Avanesian, got him the fuck up out of there. Avanesian, Kavalauskas is a good puncher, bro. He can do that to anybody.
Now, I'm just saying, like,
a 2-time Olympian, bro. Let's not even do that. That's crazy.
I'm just saying we can't bring up who dropped Spence. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can't just base everything off one knockdown. I agree with that. But my point is, he gets hit a little too much for my liking.
Me
He
too.
gets hit
I
flush.
do say
He
that. I
gets
do.
hit flush too. And you can and by the way, if I'm not mistaken, Errol Spence is the most active welterweight. He throws the most punches.
In terms of punch output, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So you got some guy with leaky defense and one guy who throws the most punches in the division. Like that's a recipe for disaster for
But
Crawford.
but remember though, Crawford is the best at capitalizing off your mistakes, right? Or punching in between your shots or countering, right? So if you're giving him more to look at, like I said, that's why I always compare it to like a baseball, right? If he's getting more pitches to look at, he's eventually going to catch it, right? That's what I'm saying. So almost you could say that style works against Spence in this fight. That's why I think Spence would be best off being able to turn to boxing quicker than to trying to just be like I'm going to output, just take this guy with output, because when you throw offense, you're leaving an opening, no matter who you are. When you throw offense, you're leaving an opening. And if
But
you
I think Terence Crawford, in terms of that style, Ezra is a better boxer. I think boxing for boxing, like looking for openings. I think Terence Crawford, in terms of his mind and how he's been trained, I think he will capitalize off of that.
he possibly could, but remember that, and I know they're gonna say Mikey Garcia was small, but Spence outboxed him, and Mikey Garcia is a good boxer. And if you're saying like it was like a fencing match, he outfenced him. I mean, he outscored him, and he fought
But
defensively and kicked the strong.
when you have the longer arms and everything, and you just have all the advantages, you can outbox a little dude.
You
As-
could, no, you definitely could. But I'm just saying, like skill for skill, it's like okay, Mayweather Marquez, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, he was bigger than him, yes, but you had to count for the skill that he provided in that fight. And I think that Spence can box off his back foot. Now, we've never seen it against a guy like I said. We've never seen neither guy at the level of the opposition we're talking about. But he could box. And I don't know if Crawford has a second style. I don't think he does. I think Spence has two styles that he's confident in, but I don't know if Crawford does.
I think Crawford does. He can walk you down and box.
I don't know. I've never really seen him box. I've seen him counter punch, yeah, but I don't know box. I think he's counter punching for a power shot, yeah. But when he comes forward, he's kind of counter punching.
Do I
Go
think
ahead.
Terence Crawford can box at range and keep Errol Spence off him? Yes, I can.
Yeah,
But I think he has the power
that's not
to
his
do
style,
so.
though. He could do it. Listen, he has all the talent to do it, but that's not his style. Like I remember in the Postol fight, he boxed for 11 rounds, and then in the 12th round, went to fucking war with Postol. Then I saw
Postol ran. Postol didn't go to war with him. Postol ran. That 12th round, Postol did not want that war with him. He was trying to get away from Terence Crawford.
No, but my point is that he boxed and then went to turned offensive in the 12th round. So Terence Crawford has said in the past, like, yo, listen, I could box, I could do this, but I just don't have fun. I don't like fighting like that. I'm a come forward fighter. And that's exactly how he was doing. He was fighting come forward in the last round because he said he was uncomfortable with his performance, even though he was dominating by boxing.
Hey, what happened when Postol, the bigger guy, longer arms, walked to Terence Crawford, got hit with a left hand, turned around like a fucking dreidel, and damn near got his head taken off. Got hit with a left hand, turned around like a fucking dreidel.
Juan, your mic in the back. Mute the YouTube video. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Matter of fact, Juan, you want to jump in the conversation? You got something to add? You muted. You muted. There you go. Juan, you want to jump in the conversation? You got something?
Now I'm gonna let y'all talk.
Hold on, Juan. You got the YouTube video playing in the back. You got the YouTube video playing in the back. I'm gonna need you to pause it. I don't know what's up with it. Anyways,
hey, bro, I'm gonna have the dip pretty soon, but I wanted to jump on. I'm glad this talk. Did you guys talk Jack Reese real quick? Because I wanted to just leave on Jack Reese real quick.
I have not, but you go ahead, set it off, and then you can dip.
Okay, let me tell you right now. Jack Reese did one of the worst reffing jobs ever, and let me tell you the keyest part of it. You can stop a fight. Stop the fight if you want to stop the fight, but you cannot tell someone be more aggressive, punch harder, because that's more dangerous than letting a fight continue. More dangerous is telling a fighter to switch his style, to do something that he's not doing. And also, who is Jack Reese to determine if he's punching hard or not? That's not his job. That's not his duty. It was one of the strangest, weirdest things I've ever seen. And honestly, I'll tell you right now, as a fighter, if the ref tells you First of all, a ref telling you he might stop it will deflate you, but a ref telling you that you're not punching hard enough will definitely deflate you. You could honestly, if that fight was more competitive, it could have changed the aspect of the fight, right? Forcing a guy to fight a way that he, out of what he's doing in a competitive fight. But I just thought that was a horrible, horrible, horrible reffing.
And
He
who
should
the
not
fuck?
never ref again.
And who the fuck is he to say punch harder and be more aggressive? That's what my
He's,
coach is supposed to say. Fuck
he is
you,
not to
bro.
do that. He is not to
The
do that. And you
fuck?
can't stop a fight for a guy not
That's
punching hard.
that's
Hold on, man.
impartiality.
Hold on, man. Let Ezra finish his point because he got to go.
No, you're good. You're good. No, you're good. But that's what I'm saying. It is not a ref's job. You can't stop a fight because the guy's not punching hard. If a guy's not punching hard and you want to stop a fight, then Paul Malignaggi would never get out of the first round. I mean, that's just the truth of it. So that was just horrible, horrible, horrible. And it needs to be looked at. And I'm legitimately worried if Jack Reese ever gets a big fight, him reffing it, because he looked out of his mind last night. He literally looked out of his mind.
And I never liked Jack Reese because Jack Reese always wants to be the fucking center of attention. I feel like he wants to make the show about himself.
Well, he did a good job yesterday. But all right, man, I gotta go.
Job.
I got my family waiting for me. So catch you guys later. Please follow the Ezra podcast. And appreciate it. I like talking to you guys box in the morning. Peace out.
Now everybody go follow my man Ezra from the Ezra Box and Ezra podcast. He talks.
I'm about to do that right now, bro.
Go check that out, man.
Appreciate it. All right. Peace.
Right, peace.
I'm about to do that right now.
Yeah, definitely go do that. But I what I didn't like from Jack Reese is like, yo, he's quick to find people and all this and do that, and I just didn't like what he did, man. I feel like he's always trying to be the center of attention, and for whatever reason, that's just the way he refs. I don't like it, and I felt like, who are you to tell somebody to punch harder?
Who the fuck are you? Like, he's a fucking weird. Yo, bro, there's so many weirdos in this world, bro. But like, yo, I actually want to get your take on Eubank Ben because I didn't hear what you said on Ezra podcast. Do you think Ben's been on PEDs for the whole of his career, or do you think he just?
There's no way for me to know that. And I don't want to make an assumption. And but what I will say is, I was very disappointed because he always struck me as somebody who's taking the sport real serious. Like, I was actually one of the few people picking him to beat Ben, just off the strength of how serious he took the sport. What's up?
Eubank. You thought he was going to beat Eubank?
Yeah, I thought he was going to beat Eubank. So he I felt like he took the sport a lot more serious. He tested positive. I don't know what to make of this, man. I really don't.
I still think Eubank was going to beat him.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's what most people thought. So, like, it's crazy. It's crazy how it played out. But hold on. I want to get Juan back on. Juan.
Joe, what's going on, brother? How you guys doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm happy to see you, man.
Me too, man. That victory was exactly what we needed, man.
Dominicans, we run boxing. That's it, man. Not everybody's handling it well.
That was a cherry on the cake right there for people to know that we here. And we have fighters that need to be top tier fighting against the guys with those belts. Not no late replacements, not no to be taken seriously. And look at the beauty if you're a boxing fan. Now you force Charlo to take that mandatory, but let's be honest, he's not going to take it. It's low risk, very high risk, low reward, but it's going to force him to take those other fights. Because if he rejects that fight, what is it going to do? I'll be more open to fighting Caleb Plant. I'll be more open to fighting Benavidez because I got a horse behind me. And this guy's
you're gonna have to, because Adames punch hard, bro. He switch hits. He can fight out orthodox and southpaw. Like, yeah, he can fight.
Adames got skills. People want to play him. Oh, because of that gas tank. Motherfucker got skills, man.
Joe, that's what really surprised me at first. I seen him touching the body, moving, switching. I'm like, oh shit! I didn't know he had this. And that's why I think Bob Sanchez is so big on him, because I seen you got that hard of a hitter. He don't waste that time on learning the fundamentals, and he's going to give a lot of people problems.
I know, and I feel he's in a weak enough division where he can move up those rankings quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, where, let's say whether he gets a Charlo fight or not, eventually he'll end up fighting somebody because he'll have a belt You know, he'll have opportunities to unify with people. You know what I'm saying? Like he's in a great position right now. Well, I just added Fernando to the conversation. Fernando de lo Mio, what's up, my brother? What you want to talk about?
Good morning. Good morning. I don't want to interrupt anybody. That's why I
No,
waited.
you good. You good. That's why I gave you the floor.
I feel like it's very important. It's very, very important for him to get the Charlo fight, just because, you know, you're gonna see this happen over and over again. Oh, this Dominican fighter doesn't have a big enough marquee value. Like, what's in it for me? So the start of that, like the look, some of them were upsets when they got into contendership or they took a title, right?
Yeah.
So it's really important that he gets the Charlo fight. Furthermore, even if he gets the title at 160, like you've seen this happen to other fighters where they win a vacant title and they're still avoided. I'm not gonna say they're ducked, but they're still avoided. You might see this to be the case with Johnny Beck. You might see this to be the case with what's the other guy that got a vacant title recently? Well, I can't say it off the top of my mind, but it's important that he gets it. Like, he's in a good position, but to really capitalize on the position, he needs to get that fight.
Listen, he's in a good position because he's with PBC, and PBC has Charlo, so that barrier is not there. And then you add on top of the fact that he has the interim belt, meaning so he's either the mandatory or he's going to become full champion afterwards. And let's just say he can't get those big unification fights with Triple G or with Janibek. I mean, Janibek's not a big fight, but you know what I mean, a unification fight. He'll still have defenses of his title, which he'll have more fights going into a fight where they can promote him as, oh, the world champion Carlos Adames, the world champion Carlos Adames. You know he's going to be on my channel all the time. And you know what's funny? Out of all the Dominicans, that's the one I got the best relationship with. Me and him.
You think Charlo's gonna take this fight off of a layoff, like a 1 year plus layoff, and he's gonna jump?
We both know that's not gonna happen, bro. What I think is gonna happen, he's gonna call the WBC. Oh, can I fight Selecki? Can I fight so and so? Can I fight this guy as a tune-up, and then I'll fight Adames? The WBC is obviously gonna approve it.
Coming off of a layoff.
And he's not going to
coming off of a layoff. Selecki could be a banana peel too. You just never know when you're coming off of a long layoff.
No, and Selecki's not a bum. Now, let me be fair.
There's some people. There's some internet rumors that Charlo wasn't really injured. They just thought like this fight, you know, the amount of money they got to pay both of these guys, and the chance that Charlo might not be able to perform at a peak level because of all the personal stuff going on. They're like, okay, you know what? It's better not to take this fight. There's a growing number of people on the internet that seem to share that sentiment. So none of these, 160, none of these fights are really that easy at the contender level. Like, I'm looking at the division. Yeah, it's the division that never really delivered the full potential it could, because they had a lot of champions at 160 that were undefeated, still undefeated, right? Because Andrade didn't move up yet, but if like, I don't see Charlo getting the Golovkin fight right away. I think Golovkin's going to take a little bit of a layoff or whatever. Oh, no, Golovkin has to fight Lara. Has to fight Lara. So what, like, this is, okay, so somebody else called him before, and then you said you don't want to focus on the business of boxing. Here's the thing. You kind of have to know the business of boxing so that your expectations aren't too high on, what's happening next.
No. What happened there was we were talking about Adames, and all of a sudden it went to Floyd Mayweather and Al Heyman, and I was like, I like, you know, I don't know what that has to do with Adames. So that's why I said what I said. But I understand that to talk boxing, you have to talk the business. It's meant.
Yeah. So these 160 guys, one guy's a top ranked ESPN guy. You got Johnny Beck. He's got the WBO. The rest of the stuff seems to be on PBC.
Hold on. Let me throw this name out, and I want all three of y'all to give me your opinion, and I'll start off with Juan. What do you think of? Let's just say the Charlo fight can't happen, and the Triple G fight can't happen. What do you think about a Carlos Adames versus Chris Eubank Jr. fight?
I'd take Lara over that, but yeah, no, it's a good fight. It's a great fight.
Hold on. What do you think about? I'll start off with Juan, then Fernando, and then I go with Matt. What do you think of that fight?
I thought slightly went through my mind because we know what happened over there with I guess they failed the drug test. Yeah, why not? He just got a belt, but damn, I don't think they're gonna want to make that fight because he looked like a horse. You see how that boy looked yesterday, bro? The sweat was coming off this guy's brow. He was getting hit like a truck. I'm like, oh my god.
Yo, I was surprised how marked up his face was in the second round. I was like, yo.
Oh, ain't nobody, but you know the good thing about it, even though nobody might take the fight, his name is going to be mentioned more because people are going to see he's being avoided. Look, Charlo's not taking a fight. That's all we needed was a bell at that division with a good horse. Let these guys compete. Let Michelle get a chance. Let these guys, because PBC, even if Michelle, let's say, doesn't win, but he does well against Tank. You'll have another star in your stable, like Isaac Cruz, so it benefits everybody for these guys to fight each other, man.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Fernando, what do you think of that fight if Eubank and Carlos Adames fight?
It doesn't happen because this guy was gonna fight a welterweight and that got canceled, and he still wanted to fight the welterweight even with the adverse findings. So
I mean,
there's a higher likelihood of him fighting Lara over Eubank. Oh, what do you think about the likelihood of these things happening?
That's why I asked you what you think of the fight, not the likelihood. All right, Matt, what do you think of that fight, Carlos Adames versus Chris Eubank?
If I were to see that fight, it would be a cagey affair. I think both of them will be respectful. I think Carlos Adames will try to, press forward and try to test Chris Eubank's chin and his durability. But, also you got to be wary because Chris Eubank is very good at, catching people with uppercuts on the way in. And Chris Eubank's strength is people coming to him. If Carlos Adames can box at range, I think he beats Chris Eubank easy because we've seen, George Groves boxed him at range. He won that fight, and Billy Joe Saunders boxed him at range and he won Billy Joe won that fight. I think if Carlos Adames can win going forward and have Chris Eubank coming to him and win going backwards, I think Adames can win that fight. But the likelihood, like what Fernando said, you gotta remember, outside of Conor Benn, he wanted to fight Kell Brook. He wants money fights. He doesn't.
He wants easy money fights. He wants easy money fights.
Say it again.
If he really wanted money, he would have taken the Golovkin fight back then.
You don't think that WBC title, and let's be honest, the WBC, whether we like them or not, it's the most, popular title.
It's popular. I don't care about
Broadway. Let's just look at history, man. The Golovkin fight back in, what was that, 2016? What year was that? Like that it was supposed to happen?
But bro, Golovkin is a much bigger threat than Carlos.
Yeah, but that was a home court fight. And there was a lot of money. Like this guy, he's not gonna take a real 160. Look at how these guys are navigating, man. I'm not even trying to get all emotional right now, but like this kid.
Don't cry on the live, bro.
No. I'm just saying, like right now, Carlos Adames, he's
too much risk for too little reward.
Exactly. So you're telling, like, I see Lara taking the fight if he gets a vacant WC, and they're like, okay, it's a unification. But right now, Lara's got Golovkin business when it comes to the titles, and Charlo's just dilly-dallying around. So it's like, I feel for the kid because, he earned a spot. He's taking these tough fights back-to-back because, say what you want about Montiel, he's not a bum. Some people might say, oh, this bum, blah, 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 but I don't like to use that type of language. He's very durable. Charlo couldn't get him out of there. And this kid, this kid.
But Munguia got him out of there, bro.
He did. But we're talking about the PBC universe right now. So, like,
is this fucking Marvel? Is this DC Comics now?
No, listen. Within the realm of possibility of fights happening, this is how you got to look at it. Otherwise, the business of boxing is going to keep letting you down over and over and over and over again.
I mean, again, then hold on. Let me pull up the middleweight. The middleweight on Box Rec, just so we could play matchmaker, because at the end of the day, listen, that was a big fucking win last night.
And Joe, you know what shocked me? That Adames wasn't on the top 10 in no other division. I mean, no other sanctioning body except the WBC.
No,
where is Adames? Like, there's Vincent Feigenbutz who got knocked out by fucking Caleb Plant. Like, where is this dude? No, Quigley's in the top 20. The hell?
He's 16.
Kieran Conway just lost. How did he go up? Suleki be yo. This is disgusting. What the fuck is Michael Zarafa doing there? The seventh? I remember him getting knocked out cold by fucking Peter Quillen back in the day, bro. What the fuck?
The thing is, like, all right, so he's not gonna get the Golovkin fight. He's not getting that Andrade fight. We already know. We already discussed the Eubank fight. He's probably not gonna get that. He's definitely not getting that Munguia fight. He already
it's Charlo or nothing, bro. It's Charlo or nothing.
He already beat Deverenchenko, Zarafa. I don't want to see that. Janibek, he's on.
And Deverenchenko's number 6 in BoxRec ratings. What the fuck? Do you see the bullshit, bro? Do you see this bullshit?
Yo, this division is trash.
It's
I know
nasty.
it's bad, but God, yo,
damn, nigga,
look
do you
at
see
these
this bullshit?
They got Jason Rosario.
Yo, hold on. The rankings might be trash, but the champions, each belt holder is a really good fighter.
It's formidable.
Wait a minute. With Janibek, and I wish Ezra was here because Ezra's a big Janibek fan. I don't know what to make of Janibek. How good is this guy?
He's unproven in my opinion because Danny Dignam wasn't anything good. I think his best wins was against Rob Brandt. So, but like it is what it is. We just got to see him against Denzel Bentley. We can't really say anything bad about him.
I'm not saying he's a bum. I'm not saying anything. What I'm saying is we don't know what he is. And Golovkin, I don't know what to make of him after that performance against Canelo, although that fight wasn't at 160.
He's 40
years old. He could easily get old overnight. So I don't know what you mean that the champions are.
Hold on. What realistic fight would you like to see Johnny Beck in that can be made where it's like, okay, I think he's the goods? Would it be Derenchenko? Who is it gonna be? That's possible.
This division is fucking caca. I don't know who. yo, bro. When I saw these names, I was expecting, for whatever reason, I was expecting to see something else. Yo, these names out of the top 5, like. This not like serviceable is not even. I mean, I don't know who would you want to see him with.
I really wanted to see Johnny Beck versus Andrade. I was really interested in that. I thought it was gonna happen twice, but aside from that,
you know what I'm happy about? Our boy's gonna be able to keep that belt for a while, I believe, and put pressure.
For real.
His name gonna be mentioned. Ain't nobody gonna be knocking on his door to fight him.
And not only that, he's in a weak division, so his defenses is going to be against guys who he should be.
Yo, I mean, look, it's kind of a consolation type of way to think that way because we've seen like long reigning champs without a big name on their resume, right? Andrade's one, Golovkin is like for a while. Golovkin was one, so I don't like. I mean, it's a good look because of. It's good representation, but at the same time, on the global scale, does it mean all that much that he gets a title?
Does. You know why it does?
We're a small country, so go ahead, Joe.
No, go ahead.
To have a guy there for a while. Us Dominicans, when we get belts, man, we lose them right away, man. We lose them. The promoters call us and put the toughest guy in against us, and we take it because we want the money. So to have a guy reign. We've never had that before, I think.
And y'all not pussy. You're not pussy. So, like, y'all take the hardest fight because y'all not pussy. You got to keep it a buck. Like,
I think the most offenses we had of a title is 2. So I'm not even trying to play us. It's the truth. Like at the end of the day, I'm a journalist. I got to keep it real. That's the most offenses we had. So not only that, the WBC belt, again, I'll say it again, not everybody's favorite belt in terms of the rules, but it's the most popular belt, so it's
prestigious.
That.
Yeah, it's prestigious.
Exactly. He'll have that. And then the middleweight division is also one of the glamour divisions. It's heavyweight, middleweight, and welterweight. Those are the 3 glamour divisions. So if we get a guy with the best belt in terms of popularity, multiple defenses, so every single fight he'll be promoted as a champion, and then on top of that, it's in a glamour division. He can possibly make some noise, especially if he's scoring knockouts. Like
you guys have John Guzman, bro.
Yo, look.
You guys had
is-
Joe Guzman. That nigga
is-
nice.
is-
Let's not play them gigs. Joe
Yeah, he's
Guzman.
nice, but how many defenses did he make of a title? How many times did he blow
Yeah,
weight?
he moved weight, not fight, inactivity. It was sad.
Yo,
It was-
is Adames promoted by Samson?
yeah,
No.
who's promoted by?
No, he's just with PBC.
Al Heyman?
Because Samson gets his guys into good positions.
I'm
Bro. So
shocked.
if he's represented by Samson, I could see a Charlo fight happening, actually.
Montiel's promoted by Samson.
Yeah, I was. Hey Joe, ain't you shocked that a guy that formidable that doesn't have a lot of fans will get put in a position like that for a title like that?
Because at the end of the day, they know they can pay him little to nothing. They know they can do all types of foul shit to him. You're not gonna do that to somebody. Like, let's keep it a buck. You're not gonna do that to him.
I never thought about.
I mean, listen, he put himself in position. He's aligned with PBC. That's what it is. Like PBC, the company, they are his advisor. And you know, once you were out, you know, you in good position. And look, proof is in the pudding. He put himself in position, and to his credit, he delivered. He delivered spectacularly.
All his fights was exciting with PBC. All his fights.
Yo, bro, you're right. You know, I looked up Joan Guzman's shit, right? He only he won the WBO super bantamweight title in 2002, right? He only had two title defenses of that. He won the WBO junior lightweight title, so junior lightweight would be 130, right? Only two defenses of that. That's crazy, B.
Yeah,
Yo, he's a trainer now, right?
Yeah, he trains to Charlos. You know his record. Joan Guzman once he retired, 34 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 1 no contest with 21 knockouts. And bro, he was that nigga, bro. Like I fuck with Joan Guzman.
Listen, Joan Guzman, if he was focused and disciplined,
Oh
bro,
my goodness,
bro, he could have been one of
he's
the
the Dominican Adrian Bro. He's the Dominican Adrian Broner, dead ass, and better than him though.
Oh yeah, to me, he had. What was that?
We're more talented than Broner out there.
Way more talented. Like, bro, I used to watch, dude. I say, God damn, this nigga's nice.
That's what Charlo said. Charlo said, "What the."
That was Charlo's favorite fighter. Jermel said that the reason he got him in his camp, that was his favorite fighter. And a lot of people don't know. I'm giving y'all some fucking inside info. So
get that out.
Talk that shit.
A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know. So Charlo, after the fight, he, you know, like whatever you got to pay your trainer, he paid Guzman whatever he was supposed to pay, and gave him an extra 50,000 on top of that. It was like,
you saw how he fought that fight?
You not gonna tell me you saw that fight? You ain't see Guzman.
You saw Guzman all over him.
You was like, I can see where Guzman was working with him. He gave him an extra 50 G's on top of whatever his trainer paid. He was
you can say whatever you want about.
That's crazy, bro. That's
Extra
crazy.
Charlo's
Charlo's a real one for that.
I may not like how Charlo sometimes airs out his family business. I still don't like how he, aired out Jamal, because you keep in-house shit in-house, bro. But when it comes down to the people he fucks with, man, I fuck with
He
it.
made me respect him after that fight, because I didn't really like it because he beat on my boy Jason.
Yo, bro, how the fuck was he making 54 Rosario? How the fuck was he? He should have been at 60, 68. That nigga was too nice to be fighting, to be cutting down all that weight, bro.
I don't know if you saw my interview with him. He told me that for the Charlo fight, he went into camp at 196 pounds.
What the fuck?
And that in the Lubin fight, in the Lubin fight, he went into camp at 203 pounds.
He looked drained. He looked weak. He looked drained.
Yo, bro, I follow him on Instagram. He put up a picture of himself at the gym. I'm like, yo, this dude looked like a light heavyweight. I don't know how you making 60. Fuck 54. I don't know how you making 60.
You mean to tell me I have to look all y'all in your face. You mean to tell me this motherfucker was 196 pounds?
Yeah,
196 fucking pounds?
203 for the Lubin and 196 for the Charlo.
No wonder he was getting touched to the body. He was just folded like origami, bro. That shit. Oh my god.
Weird. But to his credit, that Charlo fight, he was pushing Charlo back. The only time he looked back was when he got touched.
Yeah, man.
For the most of the fight, he was pushing him back, but You can't keep killing yourself like that, man.
I'm gonna show y'all something right now. I'm gonna show y'all something, and y'all tell me if this guy looks like he can make middleweight. Like if I was to just show you this picture, tell me if you think, oh, this is my. Let's just say this is my fighter that I signed. I'm like, yo, he fights at 160. What you gonna tell me? What you gonna tell me when I show you that picture right there?
I mean, pictures are deceiving, but that's a big boy, man.
That's a big dude, bro.
That's a big dude, yeah.
I can't really see him well there. I got to talk to him about that blonde hair on that picture, by the way.
Yeah, that blonde ain't really flying. And he's
a big dude, man. This
you know,
look like light heavy.
He should be at 175, bro.
He never looked the same after the Julian fight, man. He was moving, his jab was out there. He's fighting like he's.
Because this is what my friend said, Patrick Day, RIP, right? He said, like, yo, by the time you start to, make weight and you that big, skills take, the energy out of you. It takes a lot of energy out of you to move around, be, mentally acute and aware, throw your combinations and everything like that, as opposed to, you see how Jared Hurd started, forsaking his skills and started weight building people. Because the first time I saw Jared Hurd was against Frank Galarza. You know what he did to Frank Galarza? He was slick. He was catching. Boom, uppercut, 1-2. He's putting hands together. Like, yo, he was fighting a lot different.
He did Frank Galarza dirty, too. And I know Frank Galarza personally. He did him dirty.
And that's when Frank was rocking with Susan Sarandon. I don't know, bro. But like, yo, that's that. Don't laugh, bro.
That was a weird like connection. You're right.
No, Frank, you make
54 even standing. I don't believe that guy.
You know what's funny about Frank Galarza? That's actually the first boxer I ever interviewed.
Get out of here.
That's just crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. But yo, bro, you saw how he was fighting that fight. Jared Hurd was slick. The first time I was ever introduced to Jared Hurd, he was a slick boxer. But he said like, but he just couldn't do it anymore, bro, because Jared Hurd went up to 160, right? He looked bad against Arias because his body has been so depleted. Like, yo, bro, sometimes, you win a world title, sometimes you got to forsake the money. As crazy as it may sound, like, oh, boxing, you get your world title to get that bread. I feel you. But ultimately, your health is on the line. You can't just be playing with your health knowing that, yo, ultimately, one shot can change it all, and there's no money.
Rosario was dirt poor, man.
You gotta watch my interview with Rosario, bro.
That boy was dirt poor.
He was dirt poor. But yo, Rosario told me that for the Lubin fight, he lost 16 pounds the day before the weigh-in, and then the day of the weigh-in had to lose another 3.
That was criminal.
Like, you can't win a fight like that, bro. You can't win yo, bro, you might as well chop off a fucking arm. You're going to lose 19 pounds in 2 days.
What happened to Rosario is what happened to John Guzman when you start getting a couple of dollars. When you get money and you Dominican, we like the teteo. We like being in the limelight. We like the ladies. We like, and then you get.
I'm Haitian, bro. Like, I'm Haitian. I understand, bro.
You know what the fuck we talking about.
He got himself a Jeep and he hit the road up in the Oh, man.
Yo, is he training? Is he training out of the U.S. or he's training out of DR?
He's training now in Florida with a new trainer.
But that's DR, bro. Like, you need to get him in Las Vegas somewhere.
Michelle Rivera moves his wife and his baby.
Yo, what's that Cuban trainer's name that trains out of Vegas? He's got like a lot of Dominican fighters in his stable.
Cuban?
He trains Joe Joyce. No.
Ismail Salas.
He's out in Vegas, and he doesn't train out of Vegas.
But all his fighters, like they're all relatively good, man. Like he doesn't, like and they all show up in shape too. The sparring is A1 in Vegas.
No, you never told us why he lost all those Dominican fighters, man. Drop us that jewel, man. What happened? Something had to happen.
All right, man. Yeah, Juan, you too good. I'm gonna give y'all some more inside info. That shit you could only get on Broadway, Joel.
Only on Broadway. You're one of my favorite channels, and I
appreciate that. I appreciate
that.
So, there was a problem. So he was out in Japan training Ioka, the 115
and he was training Linares too, right? Because Linares is based out of Japan too.
I'm not sure, but he was in Japan training.
Yeah, his wife is Japanese.
Yeah. So he was out there and he left all the Dominicans in Las Vegas because that's where they do their camp. And Bob Santos, who's a strength and conditioning coach, he was like, yo, I'm going to leave you, take care of these guys, blah, 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 blah. Boom. So that's what was happening. But Hector, let me rewind a little bit back. So Hector Luis Garcia, when he took the fight with Colbert, what's his name? Salas was in Scotland with Robesi Ramirez. So the guy who trained him for the Colbert fight was Bob Santos. Now he's got his championship fight coming up. Bento Puello got his championship fight coming up. He's in Japan training Ioka.
No good.
And they still loyal. They still like, all right, we training with Bob Santos. You are strength and conditioning coach, but you helping us out with the boxing. We're gonna fuck with you. All right, cool.
That's a recipe for this. That's a recipe for disaster, bro.
Three champions on his stable now. Think about that. I don't think he knew those fighters were gonna project that quick. I don't think if he would.
What happened to Pedro Diaz, man? He used to train Guillermo Rigondeaux and everybody. Yo, Pedro's nice, bro.
I don't know, but let me finish the story. The story's not even over.
Oh, it's not over? Only a Broadway Joe can get this stuff, man. Oh, man.
This is according to Salas. This is according directly from Salas. He claims that he got cameras in his gym that he could check from his phone, and he wasn't seeing none of the Dominicans there. That he wasn't seeing none of the Dominicans, and that he called his wife and his he called Santos, and Santos said, "Wait a minute. The reason I'm not bringing the Dominicans there because your wife not letting me bring people outside sparring." Then Salah says, "Yo, that's not true. My wife would let people in that are not from the gym. What are you talking about?" So he's like, "I don't know." And so then there was a problem. When he got back, he was like, "Yo, like, listen, how about this? There was a problem with him and Santos. He was like, yo." He told the Dominican fighters, "Yo, you train with Santos outside my gym. I'm no longer associated. I know that he's your strength and conditioning coach. You do that outside my gym, and I'll do your boxing." They all agreed it was no problem. And then last minute, he goes, "You know what? Fuck it. Fuck all of y'all." Well, he didn't say fuck all of y'all, but he was like, "You know what? I'm not training none of the Dominicans. That's it. I'm done with y'all."
They traitors. He was
I won't speak for all the Dominicans, but I'll speak for Hector Luis Garcia. Yo, bro, if for my biggest fight against Colbert, you in Scotland, and then my other biggest fight against Gutierrez, you in Japan, yo, bro, obviously I'm not a priority.
In the States, to go after Robesi in the Japan, dude? Come on, bro.
But you gotta remember, that's what happens when you you have a lot of
Yeah, that's what happens when a gym gets too many fighters. And
you gotta remember, Manny Stewart lost out on Michael Moorer and Gerald McClellan because you gotta remember that there was too many fighters, bro.
Yeah, same thing with Robert Garcia, the RGBA.
No, but the thing is, when you that big of a trainer, you should be big enough to be like, yo, come train in my camp. Like if the fight's in Japan, I'll fly out for the fight, but I'm not doing your fucking training camp in Japan. I'm not doing your training camp in Scotland. Do your fight in my city, my stable, because you're not the only guy I'm taking care of. Maybe I'll send an assistant with you for the last 2-3 weeks, because you got to acclimate to the time zone. But I can't spend my whole training camp out there because I got fighters here. Yo, the Dominicans weren't being made a priority. And they wasn't even the ones who left. It was him who cut them.
It was the best thing that happened. It was
the best. Because shout out to Bob Santos. Yeah. Look, Carlos Adames wasn't looking like that.
Took all of them.
With Salas. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. You got to remember, didn't he lose to Patrick Teixeira under Salas?
Nah, I think he was with Joel Diaz at that time.
Yo, Joel Diaz, he blow hot and cold in terms of training, bro.
Yo, he beat the shit out of Teixeira for the first 9 rounds.
But it happens, bro. It happens, unfortunately.
Got gassed out.
He didn't get knocked out though, right? He didn't get
No,
knocked
no. Hell no.
He got dropped a couple
Yo,
times, I think.
No, he got dropped.
guys, always a pleasure. I gotta go though.
No, I'm actually about to end
Me
it.
too,
Right
bro.
All right.
Hey, great show,
That's
Joe.
great show. A lot of insider knowledge, exclusive.
Thank you, Joel, as always, bro. Thank you, big bro.
Shout
I'm
out
out.
to Broadway
I was
Joel.
looking for a super chat, man. I couldn't find it, man.
I appreciate that. Maybe you'll get me next time, man. But
Gotcha.
yeah, for sure, man. I'm definitely gonna be trying to go live a little bit more often. I love when y'all call in and shit, so we could chop it up and we can have a conversation. It creates a natural more flow and shit.
Definitely, man.
But all right, my man, I holla at you. You know you're always welcome to call in anytime. You going to the Michelle Rivera fight?
Oh, hey, what? That's my guy.
Oh, yeah, that is your guy.
Before you leave, man, what get my boy an interim belt at least if you're not gonna let him fight 10. Give him something, man. The guy's been there, disciplined, man. 24-0. Nobody's calling him out. No one. No one even, none of the top guys are even talking about him. That lets me know something.
No, listen, man. There's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes where people look at him. Again, it's the same shit with Carlos Adames. Oh, he's too much risk, not enough reward. That's what's happening with Michelle. Michelle, he's in a division where there's Haney, there's Loma, there's Ryan, there's Tank, there's Isaac Cruz, there's Rowley. But you mentioned Michelle Rivera to all these guys. What they're gonna say is, "Who the fuck is he?" Blah blah. Yeah, who the fuck is he? He's somebody who'll smack the shit out of you if you give him the chance. You know what I'm saying?
Not gonna miss weight.
And I'll see you there this Saturday.
Definitely. You bought your tickets, right? You got a press conference, right? You got your press. Did you get your press?
Man, some bullshit. I ain't getting no press pass.
It's cool. You got the money.
I'm gonna buy a ticket. I'm gonna pull up and I'll see you there, man.
Yo, send me where you buy, so I'll see if I can buy somewhere around you.
Tato, I got you.
Take care, brother.
All right, guys. Hit that like and subscribe button. Peace.
Definitely.